Hey, what's up guys? John here. Los Angeles is being set up for the greatest economic rug pull of all time. If you own rental property there, or if you plan to, we're going to see something huge unfold in this market. And we're already starting to see it right now. For example, The Real Deal just put this out. LA County multifamily market enters a steep decline. Number of units sold falls 38% since a year ago, while sales prices dropped 18.4%. Now, I sold a multifamily property there. This is at the height of the market, a multifamily property in which I built with my team, and we sold this property because I was looking around saying, you know what, I personally believe we're stepping into a situation where it's going to be much harder for landlords, interest rates are going to be going up, and I think we're going to be stepping into a recession or worse. And I've been talking about that on this channel, and we're being set up for this in LA specifically. I believe more than many other places, and here's why. If you can just look past what they're telling you and see the writing on the wall, it's so clear. Before I dive into that, today's video is sponsored by my company, GreatCreditFast.com. If you need help fixing your credit, maybe you want to invest in distressed real estate, maybe you want to start a business or get out of high interest rate consumer debt, and you want to do a balance transfer, we would love to give you a free consultation at GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. Give us a call at 561-430-5900. Now, this 18.4% decline per unit, if you own a fourplex, imagine it's a situation in which it's worth $2 million. In LA, that's kind of normal, right? A $2 million fourplex in certain areas. Now, $500,000 a unit, losing 18.4% per unit on that. Like, you just look at how this all plays out, you are going to start to see so much liquidity get pulled out of the market, especially as we start to see headlines like this and we start to see data like this. Los Angeles rents declined during March. Brookfield, Los Angeles office company, is rolled by defaults. They're defaulting, I think, on like $750 million in loans. Spending more than $5 million on properties in Los Angeles. Some real estate analysts say to wait. Well, of course, the real estate analysts would tell you to wait. And the reason for this is look at what's happened in LA. It's really, really shocking. People are buying properties at 3 caps and 4 caps, at 5 caps, meaning on a $1 million property, it would generate $40,000 a year in net operating income on a 4 cap. So what does that look like? If you are generating, say, $3,300 a month, the $3,400 a month on net operating income, and then you put a mortgage on that, let's say on a $1 million property, and people aren't paying all cash in most cases. They're putting 70% as a loan, 30% cash. And so they would finance 70%. So what they would do is they would then take a loan out, a monthly loan with principal, interest, taxes, and insurance of probably $3,000 a month or $3,100 a month. So they might make $200 a month or $300 a month on a $1 million property, managing it in LA, right? And they would take these loans out on a 3-year, 5-year loan in which they would have to refinance. But what happens when the cost of borrowing money goes from 3% to 7%, and we start to see rents start to decline? The values of these assets starts to greatly diminish. And so as this is beginning to happen, darker things are happening behind the scenes. And one of these things I think is probably the darkest thing is this ULA tax, this mansion tax. Now you want to look behind the title of this tax, because it's not a mansion tax. It's not, because this goes for commercial office buildings, this goes for industrial land. This is all property sales. All property sales between $5 and $10 million pay an extra 4.5% tax. Anything above $10 million will pay a 5.5% additional tax. Now you have to add on your 5% realtor fees. You have to add on your closing costs, your escrow fees. So, for example, a $5 million property would now see $650,000 in just cost of sale. Right? That's incredibly high. That is a massive tax. A $10 million property might see $1.3 million in cost. Now, what happens to these properties when we start to see values start to erode because of high interest rates and because of a turning economy? Well, you start to see this equity that a lot of these people thought they had diminish. And whatever is left, if there is anything, the state is going to get it. Now, fascinatingly, they said that this entire tax was going to be here to house the homeless and to help the homeless. A lot of people would get behind that. They would say, you know what? LA has 75,000 people that are homeless. We need to help them. But a lot of people are like, you know what? I bought this property based on the current taxes, based on the current deal with the city. That's why I bought in LA County. And to change this game, it's a rug pull. It's not ethical. It's not right. And I agree with that. When you make a deal with somebody, like for example, I bought this latte, and I bought this latte for $5. And if I were to buy this latte for $5 and then tomorrow I go to the drive-thru, like, oh, you owe me another $1 because of, this new tax, I would say no, because that wasn't the deal. I agreed to pay $5. That's what I'm paying, right? But with property, they can do that, and that's exactly what they're doing in LA. But what they're actually doing is they're only allocating a certain portion of these funds for the homeless, and now what they're doing is taking additional proceeds and they're building out a tenant advocacy network to pursue landlords. So you think about that. A lot of the people that own these properties paying these mansion taxes are going to build out or to fund an organization that's going to be pursuing them. So they're basically funding an organization to then pursue, to get weaponized against. It's really disturbing. Now, what I believe is going to be happening here is we're going to start to see rents continuing to decline in a very, very, very big way. And if we look at I pulled this up on Zillow to kind of get an idea of what the rental market looks like. Look at all this new inventory. Look at all this new inventory. Now, this isn't all inventory. Some people say, oh, this is just, no. If you look at it, a lot of this is older existing inventory, but if you just zoom out a little bit, you can see all these new units that just hit the market. We're going to start to see a lot of developers trying to, get their inventory leased up. We're going to start to see, I believe, a couple things. We're going to see a lot of people that own single-family homes rent out their homes, listing their bedrooms for rent. We're going to start to see people renting out ADUs, renting out their own homes. They're going to try to do whatever they can do to try to offset the cost of the world and the weight of the world. And so what I think is going to happen is we're going to start to see more and more and more supply hit the market, and we're going to see rents continuing to slide, which is going to make things very challenging for leveraged landlords in LA. But as that is beginning to happen, we will also begin to see a lot more developers leaving the city, I believe. We're going to start to see a lot of investors leaving the city. A lot of people that have a lot of money are going to want to leave the city because they're not going to know what crazy new law could be coming around the corner. They don't know how LA will operate because it's a very unpredictable location to do business. It really is. I love Los Angeles. Maybe unfortunately I had to leave, but I love Los Angeles minus a lot of the direction in which they're pushing business owners and entrepreneurs and their citizens around. Now, people might think that this mansion tax might be a good thing, and they might think, hey, you know what, we need to take equity from the wealthy and, to spread it out. But the reality is, when has that ever happened, right? If you look past the headlines, when has that ever happened? Remember they said 35, 40 years ago, we're going to, we have to defeat the war on drugs. How did that ever play out, right? We're stepping into a situation where it's like, oh, we need to combat affordable housing. What does that actually mean? It means that they need to strip wealth and money from the public to give to the state, right? And when would the state ever give the wealth back to the people? They wouldn't, right? And so when you look past things, you look past the headlines, you see things clearly, realize we're in the greatest wealth transfer of all time. The greatest wealth transfer of all time. And right now, a lot of people are getting divided by, this politician or that politician or, this headline or that headline or whatever is the new buzzword or buzz thing for the day. None of that stuff actually matters. The only thing that matters, I believe, is your family, the people you love, what you're doing, what you believe in, what you stand for, and not what people tell you should stand for. And so you look at LA, you look at what's going on, it's easy to get distracted, but what do you think about this entire situation, right? Like, what do you think about this? I think we're going to start to see like a 2008 situation on steroids in LA. I think we're going to start to see a lot of people lose their entire life's work. If you look at like the actual map of LA, like generally the wealthy people live kind of north of Sunset or just south of Sunset here in West LA. And working class neighborhoods are usually somewhere around, well, it used to be this way anyway. Now they're like all $1 million homes. But, a year or so, more like 5-7 years ago, Huntington Park, all this entire area was very affordable. People could buy a home there in these areas for, 10 years ago, you could buy a home here for probably $300,000, $350,000. But these people that live here, they're predominantly people that moved, and when I say predominantly, like a lot of them, moved from South America, moved from other countries in the 80s, in the 70s, worked very, very hard their entire life to buy a property there. And, their businesses were greatly impacted over the last couple of years, small mom and pop businesses. And so these people that own these properties, they're going to want to try to hold on. So I believe we're going to start to see a lot of people renting out their homes, renting out rooms, trying to do whatever they can do to make ends meet. And it's an unfortunate situation, because I believe these people are going to get hit a lot harder. They're going to get hit a lot harder than the people up here, right? The people up here, they're sure they're going to get hit, no doubt about it. But the people over here in the wealthy communities, they have tax teams, legal teams, a lot of them anyway. They're going to try to do what they can do to try to offset some of these losses. But whatever happens to the middle class and to the less fortunate benefits the wealthy, right? And so I hope that nobody falls for the headlines and no one's really looking at that and people are just seeing things clearly. You want to own property. You want to position yourself with wealth, and you want to position yourself to be fully self-sustainable, to where you can control your own destiny. What do you think about this entire situation? Drop it below, hit the like button, subscribe here, and if you want to help fix your credit, we'd love to give you a free consultation. We really would at greatcreditfast.com. Give us a call at 561-430-5900. You can add me on IG for short form content, reels, content I won't post here. Catch you guys in the next one.